Hola mis amigos y bienvenidos de nuevo a GT's Barbecue. Hey everybody, welcome back to GT's Barbecue. Hope everybody's doing well. Today I'm going to do something completely different. This is a dish from El Salvador called pupusas. Pupusas. Say that. Pupusas. And it's a very traditional Salvadorian dish that actually dates back to the Mayans. It's very traditional. It's also served in Guatemala, Honduras, some of the neighboring countries around there. So I've had this before at my favorite El Salvadorian restaurant downtown here in my little town, and it's always delicious. And so I decided, what the heck, I'm going to give it a shot. Please, no haters, just I'm going to do the best I can with this. It's the first time, so I'll either win or fail, and we'll do it together. So we'll see what we get here in a second. Okay, so what I have here for this chicharron, it's a traditional meat filling. I have about 8 ounces of some leftover ribs, actually, that I took out of the freezer. Traditionally, this would be made with pork belly. I have 2 cloves of garlic, roughly chopped. I have a half of a medium onion, roughly chopped as well. Half of a green pepper, and 2 small tomatoes quartered. So we're going to go ahead and put all this in our food processor. Some garlic. Tomatoes and peppers, and we'll puree this with the meat. So this is all going to turn into a nice meat paste or filling for our pupusas. So let's see how we do. And here we have our chicharron, traditional. This is going to be the meat filling. It's got some veggies in there. I am going to add some cheese to this here in a little bit. Kind of see the consistency of that. We'll get that set aside and we'll mix up our masa. Okay, to this chicharron mixture, I'm going to add 8 ounces of mozzarella cheese. Any kind of a melty white cheese will do. Kind of fold this in. Foldaroo, technical term. Okay. I did give this a little taste. It's really delicious. So far so good. I'll get this set to the side, put it in the fridge, and then we'll get started on the masa. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and get the masa mixed up for this. I'm using Masa brand, basically cornmeal. And I have 4 cups of masa mix in here. I'm going to add about 1.5 tablespoons of salt. Give that a little mixaroo. I like to get my dry ingredients incorporated as much as I can before I add moisture. And I'm going to put in about 4.5 cups of hot water. Not boiling, but pretty darn close. So we're going to add a little water, not all of it. And I'm going to use a wooden spoon for this that I actually sprayed with cooking spray. We're going to go ahead and add the rest of the water. and 2 tablespoons of vegetable oil. And this still seems like it's a little bit dry. I have a little bit of water here, about 1.5 cups of water with about 2 tablespoons of oil in it. And I'm actually going to dip my hands in this when I form the pupusas. Okay, so I have the masa mixed up to about the consistency I want. It dries out really quickly, so I'm going to go ahead and cover this with a little bit of plastic wrap just to help keep the moisture in while I get ready to put the filling in. So we'll be right back and we'll see what we get with that. Okay, boys and girls, let's make some pupusas. I'm going to open up just the edge of this. This particular masa is really sticky. So I've taken about 1.5 cups of water here and added about 2 tablespoons of oil. And I'm just going to coat my hands with this. It will not only help my hands not stick to the masa, but it will help lubricate the masa from drying out. So I'm going to take a little handful here, I don't know, whatever that is, that much. I'm going to start to pat it out into a pancake kind of a deal. I don't know, about the size of your hand, I guess, there. Then I'm going to take my custom-made ice cream scoop that I use for meatballs and put 1 scoop inside. And then I'm just going to begin to fold this thing over. Sorry, doing my best with the camera. Fold this thing over into a, I guess it reminds me a little bit of a dumpling. And then once the filling's inside, I'm just going to kind of press it out. Press, press, press-a-roo. So there we go. I guess that is a pupusa. Okay, so there's my very first ever pupusa. I've got some parchment paper here on a cookie sheet. I'm going to put that down. And we'll do another one here. A little bit of oil and water. So I'm going to roll it in a ball. I don't know. Not quite the size of a tennis ball, I guess. Kind of roll it up. Start to make a pancake out of it. Spread it out a little. Little scoop of meat. And we just start to close it. It's hard to see that. If you have a little extra on the top, just pinch that off, put it back in the bottom. And there's another pupusa. Okay, let's get our pupusas on. You don't want to cook these at too high of a temp because you want the fillings inside to have a chance to warm through. I'm sitting at about 320 degrees. I only have the 2 left burners on. The one on the right is completely off. So I usually do medium, low, and off so you can move your food around as needed to not overcook it. So let's get these things on. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and get some oil on here. Sorry for that camera angle. Okay, so those are some textbook perfect pupusas that any Mayan would be proud to serve, or maybe not. I'm going to let that simmer there on the first side, and I'll be right back after I rinse my hands off. Okay, so I'm gonna call these pupusas done. Take them inside, do a little taste test. It's been an interesting experiment. I say, you know, sometimes if you try something, you have no idea how to do it. It's in the adventure of trying to figure it out, try to get better at it. Cook it again, and these don't look too bad though. They smell delicious. So we'll see what we got inside. Okay. These things smell amazing. So we have our masa, we have our meat and cheese and vegetable filling. And they kind of crisp up. They're like cooking pancakes, honestly. The hardest part is getting the masa correct. Wow. I'm looking forward to trying this more. Give it a shot. Give it a try. Jump out there. Do some things you haven't done before. I'm going to give it a thumbs up just for my effort. Gracias por mirar. And stay safe. And we'll see you next time.